the Traditional Medicine Practitioners Council says its investigations have revealed that physiotherapists found to have sexually been abusing his clients, and the licensed sex predator documentary was operating with a forged license. The owner of Nature's Hand Therapeutic Center, Jonathan Ohenin-Kunim, who claims to be a neuromuscular specialist and a physiotherapist, told desperate women with various health conditions that they needed to be sexually aroused before they could be treated. Manasseh Azura Winnie of the Fourth Estate, who exposed the activities of Jonathan Ohenin-Kunim, said the suspect revealed he had hundreds of patients. Let's watch this excerpt from the documentary.
When I do it continuously, I get sexually unstable.
He starts by massaging and inserts his entire hand in my vagina. And sometimes I felt his hand in my womb.
I think I'm not the first victim, according to the rumor I heard. I believe that is something probably he does to innocent women or wives, people who come seeking medical attention.
And it's random. It's not like every woman I see.
He came inside and then he hugged me. Then things got more intense. He was touching me, kissing my back, fondling my butt, and trying to find his way inside my vagina.
I noticed that he was actually massaging my buttocks and inserting his fingers into my vagina. The next I knew, it was his penis.
It comes to me as a surprise. I am not aware of any, condition, and in this case, it's a lumbar spondylosis. I am not aware of any such condition that would require the patient to be sexually aroused before treatment can be administered. No, it is a surprise.
Things go on, so I'm really, really surprised.
You're saying it's not true?
If you tell it to be true, I should be in jail by now.
In 2018, Ifwa, a 30-year-old banker, not her real identity, was introduced to a specialist when she and her husband needed a child. The couple had suffered a traumatic loss and hoped this specialist would help restore their joy.
We have here Dr. Jonathan Ohenin-Kunim of the Nature's Hand Therapeutic Center at Ibadan. Doc, welcome to the show.
Initially, I was kind of reluctant since I didn't really know how he used to operate. I decided to give it a try. I was there at the clinic, and actually, he doesn't do the normal diagnosis that you'll be asked to do a lab and those things. He actually has a way. He checks, I don't know whether your pulse or something behind your palm, which looks strange, but that's how he's able to tell if you have a condition or not. He said he learned it in China.
There's the back of the hand, and it has like 360 points.
Okay.
There, so if I want to check there, so I want to check how you sleep, so I check the pulse and the nerve points. And
Okay, so what are you checking now?
I'm checking your sleep ratio, actually.
My sleep ratio?
Yes.
Okay, and?
4 hours, 35 minutes, give or take 10 minutes.
Yesterday?
Yes, last night to this morning.
This guy's a prophet. No, I didn't sleep early. I stayed up late because I was working on a script. So.
And today your eating has been a bit off. You've taken a lot of water, which is good, but your eating is...
Yes, I've taken a lot of water today. Yes. And I've just eaten once, something very little.
Okay. Okay. But all in all, you have a very good pulse. Your heart is very, very good.
My heart is good.
Very, very circulation.
Is a liar.
I won't say 100%, but some were kind of accurate, so. And he mentioned that I had a problem with my cervix and that kind of thing. So I needed to do a procedure which would help me to conceive once therapy had been done. I asked what the therapy was about, and he said he had to insert like a probe into my reproductive vagina, let me put it that way. Sort of manipulate certain things there before I would be able to conceive.
Ifwa was not comfortable with the procedure, but it is said that a woman in labor does not hide her private parts from the birth attendant. She was in dire need of a child and had to give in to the requirements of the treatment despite her misgivings about the specialist and the discomfort involved in the procedure.
According to him, before the procedure has to be done, you need to, if you're with your partner has to get you aroused so that your cervix can open. It also sounded strange to me, but I was like, okay, I also want a baby. And if this is what the doctor is saying, of course I need to give it a try.
The facility was not conducive for Ifwa to be aroused by her husband, but as I later found out, that prescription was a bait, a trap which Jonathan Ohinin Kunim employed in order to violate women who visited his facility. Once the woman could not be aroused, he would then take over that responsibility.
He inserted something like a probe, I don't know what it was, into me, and he kept doing his own thing there. So at a point, he would ask my partner that he probably should go and buy ice block or something. And I realized that it's more like, though he didn't penetrate, it was more like he was trying to have sex with me, trying to play with me. He was trying to play with me down there, getting me aroused, and I wasn't feeling comfortable.
Well, spokesperson for the Traditional Medicine Practice Council, Numo Blafo, says the public should volunteer information on quack practitioners for actions. He joins us live with more on this. Good morning to you, Numo. So, at what point did you become aware of the activities of Jonathan?
Oh, good morning, my brother. Hello?
Yes, good morning. I'm asking, at what point did you become aware of Jonathan's activities?
Well, since May, we've been on him. Actually, we realized he had a certificate or license which wasn't in line with what we issue here. Because we came across a license he was having, which has a number that was actually issued to someone else. So in May, we closed this place and withdrew that license. Actually, we requested of him because, one, we know him in our system as somebody who is, we will refer to him as the doctor. That is a traditional doctor. That's someone who uses herbal medicine to treat patients. Now, we realize that he is using alternative doctor. That is like people who are like the homeopath and all that, which we realized that the certificate or the license it was holding was already issued to someone else. So we withdrew that license and then closed up his facility. That was in May. And then we asked him to do a regularization by bringing documents that shows that, yes, he has done the courses that will qualify him to be an alternative doctor. Actually, he produced some documents, and yes, his license was regularized.
So essentially, you regularized his licenses?
We regularized the license to be an alternative doctor.
All right, so were you aware of what he was doing to some of his clients?
We weren't aware that he was actually mistreating his patients. All we knew that he was providing health care for people or patients who go to him for such, care. So, you see, we are also being minded with the issue that, yes, traditional medicine is growing in the country, and we need to encourage, either the clients or even the practitioners to do more. So we weren't in any kind of way antagonistic with him. All we were trying to do is that, yes, if he says he has qualified to be an alternative doctor, he must just produce documents that shows that, yes, he has gone through the process, he has gone through certain training which will qualify him. And you see, he came through an association. That is the Ghana Alternative Medicine Practitioners Association, GAMPA. He came through that association, and we are of the hope, or we have the belief that when you come through the association would have vetted you already. I hope you get my what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand. Yeah.
Yes.
But essentially, you're saying that once you've given the person the license, you can't be bothered about, checking on him to see how he's carrying out his activities.
No, we inspect inspected the facility, and actually what he said he was doing, yes, that's what we saw. But what has come out of this,
documentary,
the investigation, is different from what we saw. I would say it was on our blind side.
All right.
Yes.
So knowing, from
immediate, hello.
Yes. So from now that we know that there are people who can take the license and engage in such nefarious activities, is that going to change the way you go about vetting and monitoring people who are members of your association?
You see, the person himself is already under police investigation. Per what we found out, he is already under police investigation. And you see, human beings as we are, people will come, they will present a very good face. But behind doors or closed doors, who knows what they do? You understand? Because in fact, even if we go there today and he's operating, for example, you wouldn't see what the investigation has actually revealed. So it is our hope that, yes, such more investigations will go on so that we will be able to weed out this.
Right, unfortunately, we seem to have lost Numo Blafo there, but he was taking us through the processes and how they have encountered Mr. Nkunim as a practitioner and how they, at some point, stopped his practice and asked him to regularize his operations. They're saying that they found out he was operating with someone else's license. They got him to regularize it and resume his operations. But of course, they were unaware of some of these issues that have been revealed in the Licensed Sex Predator documentary. He's back on air now. Thank you once again, Mr. Blafo, for joining us. So the point I'm just trying to make is the
But then, behind closed doors, who knows what he does? So if we don't get such reports, how would we know what the person is doing?
All right. So now that we know that these things can go on, I'm just asking.
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Blafo. Numo Blafo, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So I'm asking, now that we know that these things, the things have been revealed, some things have been revealed in this Licensed Sex Predator documentary, will that change or inform the way you go about vetting members of your association, or things remain as they are?
No. In fact, we are stepping up since May. As I've told you before, since May, we've stepped up our inspection exercises because we cannot leave things to chance. So we've been doing routine inspection of facilities where we come unexpected, because sometimes when we inform them that we are coming, before we get there, they will settle everything, that we will go and see it nicely. Yeah. But now we go unannounced. So we are on it. And in fact, as I'm speaking to you now, we have a lot of such people we are prosecuting in court around the country.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. How about you trying to get to doing some mystery shopping? And apart from mystery shopping, also engaging some of the clients. So you can pick some clients of your members and, ask them questions, interview them randomly.
The issue is that we wouldn't know who and who goes to which place or what place. That's the issue. You understand?
All right.
Because it will be difficult for us to identify somebody, whether he or she uses or attends any of these, our traditional medicine practitioners.
Yeah.
But then, if someone has any experience, that is what we are encouraging, that they should report to us. Because, you see, we have ethics that the practitioners should abide with. And this guy, in fact, the investigation has revealed that he's breached about 4 of such of the ethics.
What are some of these ethics he breached?
Okay, for example, Section 1 of our Code of Ethics and Standards of Practice for Traditional and Alternative Medicine. Section 1, Article Article 16 says that traditional medicine practitioners shall refrain from all acts of indiscipline, including drunkenness, smoking, immorality, abuse of drugs, and pilfering in the course of performing their duties. In fact, it goes further to say that as a practitioner, you should be able to actually inform the patient on the form of treatment of any ailment whatsoever, either physical or spiritual. He or she shall also avoid sexual harassment in the course of duty. You see, clients shall be exposed or undressed in a manner deemed decent, only in the presence of a relative or a chaperone. So, if he, the practitioner, has gone beyond to the extent of even nakeding a lady and going further to have sexual intercourse with the person, it is not part of the treatment.
All right.
You understand?
All right.
So for that matter alone, the council has gone ahead to close his facility and revoked his license. Then, now the police or the CID will do the further criminal side of the prosecution.
All right.
But we are ready to cooperate with them.
All right. Thank you very much. Numo Blafo is with the Traditional Medicine Practice Council. Moving on, in an effort to complement government's clampdown on illegal miners, the task force for the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners has apprehended 13 persons for illegally mining in the eastern region. The suspects include Ghanaians and other West African nationals who were caught mining on the Brim River at Achim Mampong near Enyinem, Accra village in Katieso and Mochri. This arrest follows a similar exercise conducted by the Lands and Natural Resources Ministry a few days ago at Brim North and Asante Achim South District of the Eastern and Ashanti regions, respectively. The special ministerial operation led by Deputy Minister George Miriku Duka saw the arrest of 6 illegal miners and the destruction of several mining equipment. General Secretary of the association, Godwin Nama, joins us with live at this. So thank you very much, Mr. Nama. Tell us more about the activities of the suspects.
Okay, thank you, Israel. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, in the effort to clamp down on illegal mining, the National Association of Small-Scale Miners, our main objective is to ensure that people mine or small-scale mine and mine more responsibly. So we are working in collaboration with the Minerals Commission and the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources to ensure that the activities of small-scale miners are regulated properly. Last week, we started an operation on the Brain River, and our main focus is to ensure that those who are dredging the river, which we call the Tututu operators or the Chamfan dredgers, are removed from the Brain River. And those who are also working illegally into the river bodies are also arrested. So we went to 2 communities in Achim, Enyinem, called the Accra village area, and the activities of the dredgers were so much that we have to use all the tactics we have to take them off from the river body. That first day, the operation started around 4 p.m. We were able to take about 20, and then we arrested 3 of the dredgers. And then the next day, we went to Achim Mampong area also, and over 40 dredgers were destroyed, and then 13 arrests were made. We went back to the behind the police station of the Enyinem police station, behind the police stations, where we also had 8 dredgers destroyed. Right, these people were applying their illegal activity right behind the police station. So these are some of the operations that we've done. We've gone around, and then we've also seen that some companies who are working there are not complying with the environmental procedures that are per their permits that have been issued, and will ensure that they comply. Some we are going to write to the Minerals Commission because 2 of the illegal operators or the miners, they have their licenses. We've checked it, but we want the Minerals Commission to check the coordinates so that the necessary laws will be taken against them. So far, that's what we've done.
Very much for joining us with that. Godwin Armour is with the Association of Small Scale Miners. The teacher at the heart of education recovery, that's the theme for this year's World Teachers Day. Here in Ghana, the Ministry of Education and the Ghana Education Service are commemorating the day with a national event in Sunyani to celebrate hard-working teachers. Let's take you live to the USPET International Conference Center in Sunyani for the latest on today's program.
The indispensable role of our teachers, with parents acknowledging the selflessness of our teachers. The theme for this year, Teachers Wanted, Reclaiming Teaching and Learning for a Human-Centered Recovery, is highly appropriate for the extraordinary times in which we find ourselves. Teachers are widely needed to boost the human resource capacity of our future generation in times like this. The government acknowledges this, and that is why even in the midst of pandemic, when a lot of teachers globally are losing jobs, we in Ghana continue to recruit more teachers to fill various vacancies in our schools. The ministry is highly proud that our radical move to rebrand the award has started bearing much fruit. Within the past 4 years of the rebrand, some Ghanaian teachers have distinguished themselves also at the international stage. Today, I have the singular honor to introduce to you Ghanaian teachers who have once again made our nation proud at the international stage. And I begin with Mrs. Theodosia Latele Opon of Ebri Girls SHS. She won the top award of the African Union Teacher Prize 2020, which was announced in December 2020. May she come up as we acknowledge her. Ladies and gentlemen, may she come up as Mrs. Theodosia Latele Opon comes up for due acknowledgement. Shall we honor her? It is important to state that this is the second time in succession that Ghana has won the award, AU Teacher Prize. The maiden AU Teacher Prize in 2019 was won by Miss Augusta Latinyang, Presbyterian Boys SHS. And also Mr. Robert Gariba was one of the top shortlisted Global Teacher Prize contestants in 2018. The second person to acknowledge is Mr. Evans Odey of Achimota SHS, who was shortlisted among the top 50 of Global Teacher Prize. May he come up for us to acknowledge him. Mr. Odey is still in a competition, and it is our prayer that he will make it to the top 10 and indeed ultimately bring home the prize of the World Best Teacher. We are already so proud of you all. So we acknowledge them as they humbly take their seats again. Thank you very much. Nananom, honorable ministers, I take this opportunity once again on behalf of Dr. Yao Sedichum, Minister for Education, to salute all Ghanaian teachers for your dedication and your sacrifices. Our teachers are great people and deserve every bit of this occasion, of course. It is not every teacher who will receive an award today. However, today is set aside to celebrate and honor all teachers from across the length and breadth of this country. For those who win awards today, I say Ayuko for your outstanding performances and achievements in the noble profession. Nananom honorable ministers, I also commend National Teaching Council, led by the Registrar, Dr. Christian Adepoku, and his team on behalf of government for consistently putting together this wonderful program to celebrate our teachers. Our teacher unions, UNESCO, UNICEF, GetFund, GES, Occupational Pension Scheme, Glyco Pensions, Prudential Bank, Data Bank, SIC Life, and all other sponsors who have partnered us, including our media partners, Multimedia Group. We appreciate you greatly for your immense contributions to this occasion. Long live teachers, long live education, long live Ghana. God bless you. I thank you very much for your attention. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor and a great privilege to introduce to you the guest speaker for today, the Venerable and Distinguished Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Dr. Ibrahim Mohammed Awal, representing His Excellency, Dr. Alhaji Baumia, the Vice President. Let's please give him a round of applause.
Honorable Regional Minister, Honorable Deputy Ministers of Education, Registrar, NTC, Nananom, Director General and Deputy Director General of the Ghana Education Service, the clergy, development partners, directors of education, teacher union leaders, invited guests, friends from the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I want to assure Nat, Madam, I'll convey your sentiments to His Excellency President Akufo-Addo. And I can assure you, God willing, he'll be with you next year. Thank you. I'll do that. I bring you warm greetings from the President of the Republic, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, and the Education Minister, Dr. Yaduchum, who will have been with us today, but they have to attend other equally important assignments elsewhere. I therefore have the privilege and honor to read His Excellency's speech on his behalf. With all humility, I want to proceed. The Ghana Teacher Prize 2021 is a fourth version after a rebrand of the Best Teacher Awards, which are intentionally standardized. The rebrand has chalked many success, as said by the Deputy Minister, and has made Ghana very, very high on the map. The role and importance of our teachers have become more heightened with the onset of COVID-19, where schools were closed, and many parents came to terms to appreciating the number of teachers' work. And on this occasion, I want to thank the teachers for your role during this COVID-19 pandemic. And please continue to do what you've done over the years to put the children at the center of education. We all know teachers play a very significant part in the development of our human resource, and they remain key in the achievement of the overall development of the country. Let me again use the opportunity to salute teachers for a yeoman's role ever since Ghana attained independence. I echo our teachers. I am particularly grateful to teachers for your overall contribution to the success of our free senior high school program. So far, ladies and gentlemen, 1.6 million Ghanaian students have benefited from the free senior high school program. A significant leap in enrollment which has the potential to transform our country. On this occasion, I want to thank you teachers for ensuring that 1.6 million students have benefited from the country's free HS program. In line with government's efforts to empower teachers to better their social and potential lives, the MPP government, through the Ministry of Education and its agencies, with support from development partners, has collaborated with the Norwegian government to develop a comprehensive teacher policy. This project has established the Ghana Teacher Task Force, which will assist development of the comprehensive teacher policy for Ghana. The welfare, conditions of service, professional growth of teachers, and all the dimensions necessary to support the Ghanaian teacher to compete globally have been factored in this policy. The policy shall influence the way teachers are trained, how they live their lives, grow in the profession, and how they promote and ensure high attainment of learning outcomes. Also, the MPP government, ladies and gentlemen, is working assiduously to produce teachers who can withstand the test of time through implementation of the Ghana Teacher License Policy and standardization of the Professional Development Program for teachers. The theme for this year is Teachers Wanted, Reclaiming Teaching and Learning for a Human-Centered Recovery, which is appropriate for the extraordinary times in which we find ourselves. My government has seen the need to improve on the teacher-student ratio in our schools to avoid overcrowding. Since 2017, we have recruited 93,000 teachers at the pre-tertiary level. This year alone, the Ghana Education Service is hoping to recruit about 40,000 more teachers and non-teaching staff to further ease congestion in our schools. This initiative will help us reclaim teaching and learning for human-centered recovery. The pandemic has taught us a lot of lessons in our schools, and all of us. In all this one, teachers have been very central to our initiative approaches and responding to the pandemic and making teaching and learning very, very proactive. My government remains committed to our Teachers First policy in ensuring that our teachers who are subject to any education reform are fully tooled, skilled, and supported to deliver quality learning outcomes to support the government's developmental aspirations. We supported teachers in their continuous professional development policy by providing special incentive by way of professional allowances for them, and will continue to provide the necessary support to ensure teacher quality suitable to meet the needs and challenges of our society. One teacher, one laptop policy is to help teachers prepare adequately in using the best practices. STEM education is the way to go now. This policy, ladies and gentlemen, will help teachers do a lot of research to help bridge the gap as far as STEM education is concerned. The World Teachers Day is as is known in Ghana, is known as the Teachers Prize. It's an occasion to celebrate our teachers for their immeasurable sacrifices and continuous contribution to ensure quality teaching and learning. I wish all the 21 Ghana Teacher Prize awardees the very best. May they have the best in them. The ultimate aim of the GTP, as it's called, is to provide appropriate avenue to honor outstanding teachers for the complementary exemplary role they play and the groundbreaking role they've worked to effect teaching and learning. It is further aimed at motivating teachers to go beyond the ordinary in their role of work. It is also through the spotlight on great teachers and share their remarkable stories, thereby inspiring and attracting many more high people to go into the teaching profession. The prize underlines the importance of the teaching profession and symbolizes the fact that teachers throughout the world deserve to be recognized and appreciated and celebrated. I'm encouraging corporate bodies and individuals to donate to this worthy cause in recognizing the good works of our teachers, and I'd like to use the opportunity to thank all sponsors who have donated over the years to this our noble cause and to continue to do so in the coming years. I urge all teachers who believe in themselves to take the bold step and be on board to go for the ultimate prize in the subsequent years. And I wish all the best. Long live teachers, long live Ghana, and I thank you for your attention. Thank you for the program.
All right, and so for us here at Joy News, we also want to wish all teachers happy Teachers' Day. And moving on, with today being a Tuesday, women and girls are not allowed to cross the River Fane, which runs through the Central and Ashanti regions. This is because a taboo bans them from doing so. Also, girls cannot cross the river when they're menstruating. This old discriminatory tradition is hampering girl-child education and limiting socio-economic activities of females. Jojo Kobna reports that the women along the river do not want to fight this tradition, but want government to build a bridge across the river.
River Fane in both Central and Ashanti regions is very sacred. There is an unwritten rule in all communities along the river, and women should not cross it on Tuesdays. In the community of Dencha Chechere, this rule is enforced to the letter. Also, when women or girls are menstruating, they are forbidden from crossing. It is believed that the curse will befall the community when women break this taboo.
The river is having a god of man, so that thing is born on Tuesday. For this reason, it is the Tuesdays when the spirits revoke in the river. Maybe some menstrual cycle and those things that you know mention of, we cannot mention of. So as if we mention those things or we detach that things to the river is unclean. So our people or our elderly men saw that all those things attached to women are unclean for that day, Tuesday, because that Tuesday, the gods or the ancestors of the river may having some pacification or something like that. So it's taboo for a woman to attend to the riverside on Tuesdays.
If I'm in I didn't feel 14 years. Me go school St. John Methodist Basic School. Mitzi Village, Pakapa Village. My base school at Tichere, and so as I'm a band, just a cross the river and son of my back. Oh, bones, son, so I want to make cross the river if you say it's a woo, then soon. So,
to a friend, Teresa Glover. My dean for 13 years. And I do Tuesdays and so a young man into me school boys in a year or more to me back.
Dorcas and Theresa and many other girls have to cross a river to get an education. So we are currently crossing the Ofen River, and the gods of this river are against girls like Theresa and then Dorcas from menstruating and crossing it. They're against that. They're also against them from crossing on sacred days such as Tuesdays. One very interesting thing is the gods are not against people who are mining in this river. It's quite interesting. It's a journey where they have to cut through thick cocoa plantations for 1 hour. But on Tuesdays and on days that they menstruate, they cannot do that. It is an ancient taboo that is enforced even today. Women and girls are questioning the relevance of this taboo, what is affecting their education.
It is not fair. It is not fair because every day the boys go to school and studies, but we the girls, we can't study all the days.
A peep through the school register shows the full story. Many girls who live across the river are absent from school. Young girls are now questioning this blatant discriminatory practice.
The boys no more school, na boys no more, and younger more woman saying, so much me go school. A question and the agree in China almost ya dear senior girls.
According to the girls, the boys do better in school because of this archaic belief.
We won't survive 5 days or 4 days. Want me go school, a be able school, a bit of school crown, no more shan de guichi, no more shine a winnie, be a bed, a debate as I'm scrana, no one's me, and say a problem at Diana girls are yet to back up our sopa.
To give girls the best education, some parents have rented rooms in Tichere so the girls would return to them on weekends and when they are not menstruating.
Me bad Dorcas say why a kakra say. As I say, on to me go school in the blood antina, me so on God a clum. Say, so boys for Musa woman, anka a cladia, and I say a clum dear, and come to me up here no sweet.
Ama Mansa recounts going into labor on a Tuesday. According to her, crossing the river was not possible because of the taboo. The chief of her community, who has a responsibility to appease to the gods of the river with a goat and gin before she could cross, was not around. So she had to walk for over 2 hours westwards before accessing a health facility to deliver.
So I want to come a brand how much 30th March and I come here. I did Anapano. Na mbra come here na megina na mi like na eya de eya me ya but eya say as atomic kakra na te say ntumi na ante kakra kakra saa be pima am kodu nsu na me bon ba say nyame nya de onya me kakra kakra ntumi ntwa me kodu krom kwan de na say ba de mpo a ende den hu say doctor for e den mu gina me so na ha de omo so omo ntumi ma dear one, I bed and when a crack, dear continue. I'm a bomb pie, soon, Yamisu say, oh, Wammy, I'm to be changed soon. I'm good, Kruma. Dr. Afonso, what you may.
Ama could easily have died because of this taboo or lost her baby. She does not want to challenge the river god and the old age culture. She simply wants the government to build a bridge over the river so they can cross at will. Margaret Kokoi's son drowned in the river Ofen. Her son was on his way to school when a canoe accidentally capsized and he died. Anytime she crosses the river, she recollects this painful memory. She wants the government to build a bridge over the river so that no child would cross the river to school.
Ena mimi banum de omu diduane ko iti papa no bufui ena o se so mo afa duane na ma ndi omu ankasa mfa ehye no iti omu di hye no ko no ena akwada no antimi biom afi na papa no ko ji ya hye no ko butu wo oduru ho a wa kai se mi banu wo ka ba distance ka be bi owo ka nya bia wo be pepe so bia obetimi abehwe mi ena sisi aso yinti
Until then, this discriminatory practice would continue to hinder the development of girls and women. Jojo Kobna, Joy News.
Now, Bright up here of Child Rights International and some women's rights advocates agree that the culture and beliefs underpinning the taboo that makes it impossible or bars women from crossing the river cannot be ignored. But they say traditional authorities can be engaged to get them to have a relook at the taboos. And he believes that government should lead the way.
On their behalf. So you expect that I, in this case, would look at the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, the Ministry of Education, and also the Interior Ministry to handle these particular cases in a manner that would also help them. Initially, some of these things were placed under employment and social welfare, but now we have a different assignment altogether. So we expect these institutions to take the matter up so that we can see to the smooth transition of these cultures to pave way for our children. So basically that is what it is. And sometimes it's a bit difficult when to answer some of these questions, looking at the history of the ministries and what we have experienced from them in the past when it comes to these cultural practices and all that. You remember the witch camp, you remember the Trokosi system. They led it and they brought some kind of changes in those areas, though we're still perfecting it. But they led the process. And once they lead the process, you'll see that other institutions will also come on board to ensure that things are done. And now there's a whole campaign about government even giving.
You're watching News Desk. We're taking a break now to bring you business news.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. The International Labour Organization in Ghana is engaging employers on the need to adopt its project known as the Trade for Decent Jobs. The initiative, aimed at improving working conditions and enhancing labour practices amongst organizations, is being introduced in Ghana with support from the United Nations. Officer in charge of the Trade for Decent Jobs, Ikwe Ofori-Asimedu, told Joy Business that these practices are expected to be considered as part of working conditions for both employers and employees.
As we are all aware, we know that there are a lot of multinational enterprises operating in Ghana. And their existence in here, they adopt a lot of international labor standards in their operations. But what is most important is that we make sure that their code of conduct or business is in line with the labor regulations that our country have. So
when they go back to their enterprises, they are going to allow more dialogue. They are going to use some of their corporate social responsibility to promote decent work at the enterprise and also within the community. If, for instance, you are a mining company and you are in a locality, I know enterprises have budgets which they use for corporate social things. This will help them to work with their direct employees as well as indirect employees, those who are vendors and suppliers to the company, and extend some of the good things that they do to also those people. And workers at that level, even within the media, even your enterprises, some are multinationals, and so on and so forth. So we'll expect that at the enterprise level, there will be some kind of social dialogue, which means you can talk freely to your colleagues, among your colleagues, with employers also. It will also mean that work-life balance will be looked at. You have a life as well as you are working for your enterprise. It will also translate in there's no child labor at that enterprise. Nobody will take underage people. It will also mean that if you need to progress in your career, it will be allowed by HR.
Now, if you're a member or a regular contributor to the Social Security and National Insurance Trustnet, then you may want to heave a sigh of relief because management has extended its operational days to the weekends. Now, SNIT says this is to allow for more eligible clients to have unimpeded access to its services across the country. Speaking at an event to launch its weekend operations, a Deputy Director General, Michael Adoteado, said this is part of efforts to increase client satisfaction.
According to the Deputy Director General of SNIT, Michael Adoteado, the move to add Saturdays to the Trust working period has become necessary to allow for more eligible clients to have unimpeded access to services across the country.
For a number of years now, the past few years now, we've been on a focused drive and on a journey to be customer-centric organization. We have pivoted to face our members and clients to provide them service and very convenient access to all our services. That is the main reason. Then over time, too, we heard our members and clients, some members of clients, requesting that we provide them the service on Saturdays because of their inability to come and do service, to come and engage us and transact business on Saturdays. So based on that and listening to them, we decided to embark on this. So now on Saturdays, if you go to one of those selected branches, you'll be able to transact businesses with all the services that we provide, almost all, to transact businesses with us from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. every Saturday.
Mr. Adoteado also hinted of plans to extend coverage of the scheme to the informal sector. He explained that under the yet-to-be-rolled-out arrangement, contributors from the informal sector will be entitled to similar benefits as regular contributors from the formal sector.
The app is ready to be launched. We had to merge. Remember now, SNIT, you can merge your NIA card and SNIT card. So we had to take care of that particular aspect of the merger. So that took a little bit of time because that requires quite a lot more than people would think. But that has been done, and I tell you that from next month, we are in October. From this month, we'll start getting ready to launch the app for the use of our members and clients.
The Trust Saturday services will be run across 9 selected branches, including Legon, Trust Towers, Airport City, Tema Community 2, Asafo, and Takrade.
That's business. Sports is coming up next. Stay tuned.